Here's Sherrills. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, first and 10 at their own 26. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a second and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Kamara. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Looking for a seam, but finding none. We'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now they'll throw with Brees. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Third and long now after the sack of Brees, and the Saints up against it here. From the gun, it's Brees. And Gibbs got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the Saints. When in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Ready, 95-56.
Kamara try the right side. He knocks him back. Shedding the tackle, and it gives him some room. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 there, and a New Orleans first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. Running with Kamara. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. On second and 9, Brees. This is caught, and stepped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball.
Yeah, good now. Step up in the pocket. Bag up, give him time. There you go.
Downfield. field, gain nice chunks of yardage, but now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field strength has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now you just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. A.J. Klein came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Play fake to Henry. Now Mariota steps away. He'll try and run it.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throw it. Mariota. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's in different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Working from the gun, it's Brees. He gets it to Thomas. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On the ground, Kamara. The defensive end, Cameron Wake, brings him down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second and 11 now. Breeze. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now Breeze on third down. Gets this to his standout receiver, Thomas. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8. Okay, just like that. Just like that.
Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6. Now second and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And on third and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Shotgun now for Breeze. Looking for Gill, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second and 1. And they're able to bring him down at the 20.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. After the loss, here's second and 12 from the 18. Mariota hands to Henry. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. On third down, Mariota rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to, at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, we've got to finish. We've got to finish off drives, finish off the game. There's an example there of not finishing, doing everything right, but not getting the result that you need.
The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 2nd and 5 now. Brees. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready? 5-9.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
You ready? Here we go.
From midfield, here's Brees. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
A busy night continues for Kamara.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Brees. That's complete to Meredith. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got room. 36 yards on the play.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Well, you hate that for him. He gets so close on the big run, but has him in excellent position.
And I know there's plenty of competitive spirit on the defensive side of the ball, but part of me wonders if they would have just preferred him to go ahead and take it into the end zone rather than deal with him again on a likely carry on this down.
Ready? Yellow lady. 59. Ricky.
They'll run it with Kamara. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. And this is caught for the ground. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. From just shy of midfield, Mariota. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Titans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Mariota. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. A 2nd down run with Lewis. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw in film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you can let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
They didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him back.
And Breeze is going to go down in the end zone. A safety. Well, they're going to have some space here on the free kick.
You're exactly right about that. They just wish that they could have the free kick and not give up the 2 points.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This is fielded inside the 5. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Off play action to Henry. Here's Mariota. It's caught by Davis. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So how about that for a changeover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Mariota. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a 1st down. Mariota now 6 of 10 in this 1st down. He's got his guys a 1st down here. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. But he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Mariota again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in his zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys have cut the lead down to 2.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And this is now a 1-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on a return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in his zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. From the 41, Breeze gets it to Meredith complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Mariota sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
It really helps your play calling, because now you're in a position where you're confident in either one, either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He throws and he hits the slot out to Thomas. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Flushed out right. Ginn has it complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Two minutes even on the clock in the 1st half of Super Bowl 54. A reminder coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the 1st half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Brees leads this one with Kamara. And he'll get him a bit close. As he's down to the 2-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the 1st half. This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. Looking for Thomas. He's got it. Touchdown, New Orleans. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played, the analytics, is going to be a lot more going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other end. Just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out. Let's not quibble about the game there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Mariota now. And that's complete to Lewis. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Mariota now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Sets up the screen to Lewis. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on second down. Mariota. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he's got this down to the 35. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, that is not what you want to see from him on the big stage, obviously. And he's been so reliable all season long.
A big part of why they've gotten here to this game. But you have to wonder, will this haunt them later as the Super Bowl progresses?
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, come on, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, have the halftime, have the stool down a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run it again with Kamara. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency, Brandon.
operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Breeze. Completes this one to Meredith. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. This is Kamara. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Ready. 5-9.
Again, it's Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play. Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the 3rd. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now here's a throw, and that's Taywan Taylor with it. And at the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mariota, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs, because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. And I know that they double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. How many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys, good. Yeah. Backside guys,
nah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. That kind of looked like a defense fed up by being gashed in the running game all night.
Yeah, and imagine their coach saying, if you're fed up on that play, where were you the rest of the time? What took you so long? But flip it over to the offensive side. They've been dominating this thing, and to finally have a play go against them, that's not something that's going to make them feel very good this evening.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Ready? Double waiting.
On second down, Kamara. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Yellow lady, yellow lady.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Ready? 5-9.
Check. No. Quit talking about it and play it.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
Ready? 95, 56. 54.
I got
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them. I wouldn't worry about that very much at all. Just continue to do what they've been doing.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said does. They want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
On 2nd and 15 now. Mariota incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. They haven't had to rely so much on the passing game. It's really been a team effort in the running game that's kept them successful and has them in the lead.
I like that, too, the team effort, because when I was growing up, one guy carried the football, right? You stuck it in his chest 20 to 30 times a game, and he was the heavy volume, heavy dose guy. Now, you spread it around, different people touching it, and in this game, it's proven to be effective.
And spreading the wealth has been very effective.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8. Check. Block 54, block 54. Silver.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. And they give this time to the tailback. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a 1st down.
A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Taywan Taylor. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
He was trying to get rid of it. He was trying to avoid
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10
all
for the
that
Twins.
blitz.
Mariota to Lewis on the draw. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. He can run for it, and he will. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Sherrill's on the return. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Ready? Yellow lady. 54. They're not ready for this, man.
On the ground, this is Kamara. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Yellow lady, yellow lady. 54. 54. Jump that lady, turn up. Get that ball.
Kamara. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that 1st down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Throwing, Mariota. They'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Mariota now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Mariota. It's caught. Humphries. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing is Mariota. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We did not.
Let me watch that one again. Look at this shit. So he catches it. Well, he never caught it. He tapped it. Boom. This nigga ended up catching it. Boom. But I knocked that out of his hand, though. That was crazy.
Seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. To throw Mariota. Complete. This is Lewis. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Mariota. He finds Taylor, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A 9-yard touchdown grab, as his guys are back within a single score. So they get the score, partner. Game's not over, but they still need some help here.
Agreed, they definitely need some help, but they took care of the first part by scoring themselves.
Succop for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And the result in the end, the Titans touchdown. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, you might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
He gets it to Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting. 54 miles.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 35-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Now Breeze. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Now a handoff here to his running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. Second and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. And a give this time to the tailback. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. And he'll give it here to his running back. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will extend their lead even further. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Mariota on target there to Humphries. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Good part.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
They can't. Okay. Use all your timeout. Make you use all your time. And then do it about it.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving.
Oh, shit. My bad.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Come on, man. Let's go.
So now Mariota and the Titans down by 10. Just over 1:40 to play. They've come so far this year, but they need 2 quick scores late in this Super Bowl. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Mariota to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Mariota to throw it. And some room to work. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Mike, ready. Yellow lady. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the first down. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And no signal yet. I don't think he got it. And he didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And just 1 man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. It was the safety, Kevin Byard, that time, who was able to knock it away. They've been stopped twice at the 1. Can they finally break through on 3rd and goal? Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New Orleans defense, we get set to watch them go. And the interception the last time they were out there ended up leading to a touchdown.
So the only thing they didn't get away was the pick 6. Because that's what everyone wants. Take it immediately to the end zone. But their offense capitalized on the takeaway and turned it into the 6 points they were looking for.
Yeah, set them up pretty, got the touchdown. Now they're back out there defensively. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. And the Lombardi Trophy is headed back to the Bayou. The New Orleans Saints, Super Bowl champions. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists a Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey. And now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.
Pee-wee. I caught that nigga running up out there. Cell socket. That nigga know I ain't running this bitch no more. He don't even run at this bitch no more. He know where he come on. Fuck. Ah.